Unidentified. My Top UFO Cases by Hector V. Bello, March 2018. The 1996 Yukon UFO sightings in Canada. According to more than 20 witnesses, a very large aerial object with very bright lights hovered near the lake, Fox Lake, between 8 and 9 p.m. The picture you see as the cover for this article was done by Canadian engineer Martin Jasek, who wrote a detailed account of the event after he investigated it for himself. Two of the witnesses, this is a quote, were cousins driving in separate vehicles. Each saw it over the lake, slammed on their brakes, and got out of their vehicles. They watched the huge object as it slowly drifted towards one of them and was soon almost directly overhead. It then moved slowly across the highway and over a hill to the east, whereupon it was lost to view. End quote. Quote, while the two cousins were observing this object, a married couple with their baby were a bit further to the south along the same highway driving toward them. They too saw the object. By the time they caught up with the cousins and pulled over, the object had moved off. The married couple continued driving until they arrived at a lodge farther ahead. There they told the owner about what they had seen. He promptly recounted a sighting from an earlier witness who had gotten very close to this object. End quote. Another quote, at the nearby village of Pelly Crossing, other people described the same object. In one case, it seemed to respond to a man's flashlight by accelerating towards him. When he turned off his flashlight, the object stopped. By then it had gotten quite close to him, filling much of the sky. It also emitted several beams of light, including one that swooped along the ground. They ran across a clearing, perhaps to get a better view. When he turned to look for the object, it was gone. Just imagine seeing something like this, how remarkable it would be. I have myself had a number of fairly remarkable UFO encounters. This is the author of this article on the web, even with a few members here at the Collective Evolution. As a result of all of the evidence supporting the phenomena, along with my own experiences, I have been fascinated with this subject for a very long time. This case has been investigated by many, and most of the interviews with the witnesses are available online. There is a video on YouTube right now that has a few of them describing the experience in person, but again, more are available online. This is one of the many extraordinary sightings that has occurred around the world, and judging by the ancient artwork and history, it seems to have been happening for a very long time. One example would be, for example, the Aboriginal community of Canada. Their stories have not been passed down through documentation, but through an oral storytelling tradition. These stories often speak of spiritual beings from another world. Quote, many people tell of star people who came to us many generations ago. The star people brought spiritual teachings and stories and maps of the cosmos, and they offered these freely. They were kind, loving, and set a great example. When they left us, my people say there was a loneliness like no other. End quote. This quote was by Richard Wagamise, whose quote could be found online. Wagamise is spelled W-A-G-A-M-E-S-E. If you put all of these teachings and stories from multiple cultures around the world together with evidence that is available today, things start to seem quite strange and very real. This particular case included various drawings and detailed interviews with many of the people who witnessed the object. A serious issue that deserves serious attention. For years, UFOs have received serious attention, as Mike Gold puts it, from government, military agencies, and more. But it's slow. But it's only now, thanks to the declassification of files, that people have been allowed to see the truth. That yes, something important is going on here, and has been for a long time.